International Training for Elders and Responsible Ones. October 2022. Week 8. Day 3 and Day 4. Outline. Roman number 3. The characteristic of the overcomers in Philadelphia is their endeavoring to enter into the God-man living by enjoying the riches of Christ as their indwelling treasure. Capital A. In Isaiah 22, God fired Shebna, a steward in the house of the king, and replaced him with Eliakim, a type of the all-inclusive Christ as the steward in God's house, the one upon whose shoulder the key of the house of God is set. Christ has the key to control the door of God's treasury, in which are the riches of God in Christ for our enjoyment. Number 1. When God created us, He hired us, and when He put us on the cross, crucifying us with Christ, He fired us. Number 2. Whatever or whoever is not Christ, God fires. God has replaced everything in His Old Testament economy with Christ. Number 3. The real church life is a life in which all the saints are fired and replaced with Christ, making Christ everything in the church. All of us are Shebnas, who should be removed and replaced by Christ as the real Eliakim to make us His duplication as stewards of the mysteries of God and the varied grace of God. Number 4. In the New Testament, Christ's replacing of us is altogether a matter of a grafted life. As wild olive branches, we have been grafted into Christ as the cultivated olive tree. Thus, we are united with Christ, and in this union Christ replaces us. Number 5. Because we have been joined to Christ, and Christ joined Himself to us, uniting Himself with us, when He died on the cross, we died with Him and were terminated. Now in our organic union with Christ, He replaces us by living in us, with us, by us, and through us. Number 6. We live, yet not we, but Christ lives in us, and we live by the faith of the Son of God. This indicates a union with Christ. On the one hand, we are fired, and on the other hand, we are not expelled, for Christ comes to live in us, with us, by us, and through us. Thus, the all-inclusive Christ as Emmanuel replaces everything and becomes everything in God's economy. Capital B. In order to enjoy the riches of God in Christ as the treasure, we need to remain in the touch with the Lord, staying in contact with the Lord according to the sense of life and exercising ourselves to be poor in spirit and pure in heart. Capital C. In order to enjoy the riches of God in Christ as the treasure, we need to use the keys of denying the self, taking up the cross, and losing the soul life. This is the end of today's outline.